Hello, everybody. This is the Breezer Report, and this is my median edition broadcasting live. So today, um, I'm bringing up a story about a journalist, Pauletta Cooper, who is an investigative journalist from New York. And for the first time, she will be, writing a story on her encounter with Scientology when she did a story. But before we dive into the story, please, I would like you to, subscribe. If you're coming in, subscribe to my channel, and if you're going to watch this on replay, put in your comment and also subscribe to my channel. So the story of Pauletta Cooper. Um, the story has been captioned Operation Clambake. Clambake. It's one of the uh, first high-profile story of Scientology using um, fair game tactics on their critics. And for the new people coming in, for people that don't know Scientology, fake gaming it's a tool in their bag they use to silence their critics and to further the aims and objective of Scientology. So let's dive into the story. Um, Paulette Cooper was an investigative journalist out from New York City. So when she decided to, write a story on a relatively new and unknown organization, this was happening around 1968. You know, the the pressure she faced, the fear, the threats that came her way when she was trying to expose this dangerous cult in 1968 is still the same thing that is happening today. So if you look at the protesters that are, you know, um, doing their protest down in LA and in so many other cities across America and around the world, you know, they've been using fake game tactics. But this woman was the first high profile, you know, person that Scientology used the fake game tactics to go after. So in her story, which was written June 23rd, 2007, you know, she stated that she wanted to go in and find out more about Scientology. And it took her into a very, very deep hole in uncovering what this cult is all about. So, among other things, you know, she stated that Scientology mission and their modus of operandi, how they operate. It was so, you know, informing, and it was, how would I put it? It was so intriguing in what she came up with and what she passed through, you know, in her process of uncovering Scientology. So it started with her writing up the story, and the Scientology came after her hard. That it got to a point that you know she she was being blackmailed. She was being harassed. She was receiving phone call threats, and even people she didn't know coming, following her, and it was nerve wracking for her, you know. So, and Scientology were very litigious, you know, started filing lawsuits against her, you know. Like I said earlier, she was followed, people seem to be trying to gain access to her apartment, you know. Then in the basement of a building, um, she discovered alligator clips on, her phone wires, and it's likely the Scientologists were trying to tap her phones. She also stated that her cousin, who was also just like her, similar features like her, was in her apartment, and the man came in, you know, and delivered a flower for her, you know. So, and when she stated that the man, pulled, a pew pew, on her. So, and he said it was the pew pew misfired, and the man began choking her, and that was when she pulled away and screamed. And she later reported it to the police, and nothing came out from the attack. And Scientology also will make you to move, move from places, move from apartment to, change your house. So this is the fear they instill on people, you know. So um, the borderline was that um, she was later set up because what did she do? She wrote a story. She was an investigative journalist that wrote a story about Scientology, and they were all set to destroy her. So they used the FBI, you know, uh, in her recollection, you know, she received a visit from the FBI, and she was told that the spokesman for the Church of Scientology in New York City, claimed to have received uh, an anonymous, you know, threat from her, you know, the boom threat from her, and that she's likely a suspect. But she said she didn't take it seriously uh, until she was summoned to appear before a grand jury. And she was shocked to learn that she was a target of an investigation. Um, and another thing, when they set the cost to, put you into the justice systems, it will make you hire, an attorney, which is not cheap. So they will try to drain you or ruin you financially. So she she did hire um an attorney, you know, and it, it was getting worse for her, you know. So the during the grand jury, sitting, she found out that, for the threat that was purportedly sent to the Church of Scientology, that she will be facing 5 years in jail for each. So the threats were two, and five more um, for perjury, for denying it, and a $15,000 fine. All this was happening around 1968 or so. So in the grand jury sitting, she was shown a letter, and that she purportedly sent to the Church of Scientology, which she has no knowledge of. No knowledge of. You know? So, and so in the letter, her fingerprints were in the letter. But how did the fingerprint comes to be on the letter? She never saw, she never touched. And that's another work of the Church of Scientology, using the PI, you know, if, to scavenge your dumpster, you know, so they can, you can leave the fingerprint you know, from any material that you touch, you know. So she was facing the threat of losing her freedom, but something she never did. All she did was to write a story, and it came down to, you know it comes down to her fighting for her freedom, and something she never did. Something she never did. You know, so this is uh it's so I don't know how to put it. So when I listen to people in the front line doing the protesting, you know, I feel for their safety, and in my mind, I'm always thinking the best way for them, you know, to be safe and to protect their liberty. You know, Scientology will go at all cost. You know, they will go at all cost in finding something to frame the protesters. You know, so my advice is for them to be always watchful for, you know, their environment when they are protesting, and at home too. You know, it's very unfortunate that uh, you cannot express your First Amendment right without being um, targeted. So this woman did her civic job, you know, and this is what is not common with journalists, today. They all write about salacious news and forgetting the aspect of doing the investigative journalism, which is too bad. But with journalists doing investigative journalism, it it enlightens the people, it educates the people, to know what's going on, so they could make an informed decision about things. Oh, I see Danny in the chat. Danny, hi. So, and it breaks my heart that the authorities are not, taking the threat that Scientology poses seriously. You look at LA, uh, you know, from me watching the streamers down in LA, them going to the city council meeting, seeing the non-responsiveness of the politicians down there. You know, every time there's a public meeting, they go down there. They 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 make complaints about what's going on in their neighborhood that Scientologists are doing, and no action is taken. The LA cops, you know, the way they, fraternize with the Church of Scientology, like if the cops are in their pockets, it, it beats my imagination. It really beats my imagination. So uh, the 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 education that we are getting from the streamers, the never ends, the second gens, it's massive. You know, the work they do down there protesting, educating the public. It's very enormous, and I man, I doff my caps for all of you guys, and you guys are my inspiration for me doing this. I never thought that I'll be in front of the camera, you know, you know, doing my little bit of, you know, uh, trying to educate more people on what is going down and what the Church of Scientology it's all about. You know, uh, for me, in my own opinion, I see it as a money making machine. Um, There's no spiritual. There is no um, even physical gain associating yourself with that cult. In my eyes, I don't see it as a church. It's a cult. Where you cannot have a mind of your own. It baffles me that they will route you in, and and if it's not what you were expecting, you cannot freely leave. It's like an imprisonment. You know, it's like an imprisonment where you don't have your free will to do what you want to do. To say, oh, I'm done. This is not what I'm expecting uh, from joining. I'm ready to go. They will destroy you. So the best part of it is never to go in. Arm yourself, educate yourself, you know, and never go in. So uh, I know this my first live stream will be a little bit shaky, you know. So, but with time, I'll get to improve. Um, this is just my 2 cents about it. So, and I'll be doing more of a reaction videos from the streamers. Bring to light, from the lens of the streamer down, you know, on the front line protesting. I'll give my commentary from their lens, from their camera view, from their perspective, you know, and I'll put in my own opinion into it. Okay, thanks everybody for staying. Thanks, Danny, for coming in. And any other person that would watch the replay, and remember to subscribe and put in a comment, and uh, um, you know give me your opinions in the chat where I could improve. Until next time I come to you live, this is the Breezy Report signing off. Bye.